Okay, first of all, I found it was easier to use Google Sheets for my original data than Excel. One, if you do a manual Excel upload, it only updates every 12 hours, whereas a Google Sheets will update every 15 minutes. Also, I think I had some trouble with if I wanted to actually make a data change and then re-upload the file. It just seemed to go much smoother if it was all in Google Sheets. The other thing, when I put it into Sheets as a CSV, the decimals and things were a little bit off, so I did need to go back and fix those. Also, when I had not available, that messed up. It basically took out all the data in that cell, so it was better just to remove those. So if there wasn't data, just to leave a blank cell. Okay, then if I go into the Google Data Studio, the two places I used were the reports and the data sources. The data source is basically just at the beginning. That's where I pull in the data from Sheets. I'm going to go ahead and go to my report, because if I do need to access my data after I've already connected it with a report, I have to do it through this way. I ironically can't go through that data sources place. So I'm going to go up to edit. Now I can edit the file in general, including going to the resource, manage my data sources. So this is the data source that's connected with that report. That's that Google Sheet that I just showed. And I'm going to go to edit. This is what you would do when the data is initially pulled in. Essentially what you have to do is just tell it what variable type. It is nicer if you get all this set up initially, the numbers, the percents, the currencies. One kind of quirky thing I noticed, for the state, if I'm going to do a map and categorize something as a geographic variable, it may have been I just didn't do it right, but I had a hard time getting that to also be a state label when I wanted to do, for example, a bar chart. So what I did is I just cut and pasted the same variable, but one time I call it text, and I use that for my labels of bar charts, and the other one I actually categorized as geographical. It seemed to go well with calling it a region. So I think that's all there is about the data. And then if I just click done here and go back here. So there's really four different options I have. This layout and theme is the overall page. So I can go back and forth between them. Let me see if there's anything specific to point out. I don't know that I messed with those too much. The theme, I didn't really get the dimension values to work. I wanted to like shade the national as a different color, and I wasn't able to figure that out. Yeah, so I don't think I used too much of this layout and theme. What I did do, if you click on data, you get the data and the style. So this is where I'm putting things in, the dimension and the metric, and then to have them all line up like that, I do need a source. So these two variables here are always the same, and this is, for the ones I did, the dimension here was always state. And then if I go to style, I did need this bar chart. I did need 51 bars so I can include national. Wanted to show the data label. One thing that was a little odd is I changed the font size to 11. 12 was crowded. Some of the fonts didn't seem to work real well with the negative. The negative kind of got put in with this line, and I did find some that worked okay, although I haven't figured out this issue of, I guess you don't see it here. Maybe if I pull this down, you can see that some of the data values pop back over to the left, and I believe if I leave them big, it doesn't do that. But the problem then is that this looks like a single line here, and it's hard to tell the positives from the negatives. So that was a little quirk I haven't figured out yet. Let's see. The map then is just a totally separate chart. Still use state geo. So this one uses state geo. This map uses the actual state text. And here I, again, just put the metric there. I could add a filter to filter out the not applicables. For color on, well, not so much on these. If I go to my gauge maps, so here I just wanted 4 different colors, and if I edit that, let me click on my map here. Okay, here, yeah, I did just use a spectrum from one color to another. Instead of the legend, I have those in a PowerPoint file in the Google Drive. And I think if I didn't want a spectrum, I think I could do that with the dimension coloring, but I haven't figured out quite how to do that yet. So that's the basics of it. And the other thing I guess I did at the end was I toggled the grid so that it wasn't showing, and then just downloaded it as a PDF, and I could either do 1 page at a time or the entire. I put all the gauges in one report and all the indicators in the other report, and that's it.